Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Monday, April 25th. I'm sorry, July 25th, 2011. And we have a tremendous passage today. I'm really excited about this teaching. We are in Mark chapter 3, and we're going to learn some things about our Lord that maybe you didn't know. And we're going to learn some things about religious, prideful leaders that unfortunately we already knew. Mark chapter 3, verse 1. Again he entered the synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand. And they watched Jesus to see whether he would heal on the Sabbath, so that they might accuse him. And he said to the man with the withered hand, "Come here." And he said to them, "Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save life or to kill?" But they were silent. And he looked around at them with anger, grieved at their hardness of heart, and said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was restored. The Pharisees went out and immediately held counsel with the Herodians against him, how to destroy him. Remember, we were talking about the Sabbath yesterday and how important they kept, they thought the Sabbath was. This is, they've gone to an extreme now. Here's a guy with a withered hand, and they're watching Jesus to see, is he going to heal this guy? And they're not concerned at all about the guy. They don't care one thing at all about that guy. They just want to see, is Jesus going to do it on the Sabbath? Then we can say he's a blasphemer. There's here. You see, I'm getting ticked. Jesus was ticked. It says he got angry. Maybe you didn't think Jesus got angry. He got angry. Anger is not a sin. Anger is a gateway emotion that can lead to other sins. And it can be a sin if you're angry for the wrong reason. But generally speaking, anger itself is not a sin. Now, anger leads to bitterness or retaliation or revenge or other things, most of the time murder, that could be sins, that are sins for sure. But here we see Jesus getting angry. Jesus never sinned. This is not angry. He is angry because these guys, their hearts are so hard. It says he was grieved at their hardness of heart. He would have loved these guys to have had a soft heart and to see what he did and to change, but they didn't. And we learn about Jesus and we learn about people, religious, prideful leaders. They have hard hearts. They can't learn. But do you notice when Jesus asks them a question that they're silent? They're cowards. Religious, prideful leaders not only oppose Jesus and are prideful, but they're cowards. They want to do everything under the cover. That's another thing about these guys. I try to do everything I can out in the open. I teach her on the internet every day, and whatever I say, I try to say in public. People that have had a problem with me, they want to pull me aside and talk to me. They don't want any big spotlight on anything they're doing. That's what we learn about religious, prideful leaders. But we learn that in Matthew, and I'm not going to take too long on them. Here's the main thing, though. Our Lord was a normal human being, and he did get angry. But he got angry because he cares about this man, and he cares about you. And if he sees somebody opposing one of his children, it makes him mad. So if you're wondering sometimes, why has all this happened to me? Well, God will allow things to happen, but don't think he's up there smiling and thinking he's having a party as bad things are happening to you. No, he's getting ticked. He's getting ticked at the enemy, and in this case, the enemy is Satan. The enemy's never really who it looks like. They're never really the man or woman that's opposing you. It's Satan working in them. And he's getting angry because he loves you and he cares for you. The same way you would get angry if you saw something bad happening to one of your children. Now in his providence, and I don't understand all this, in his providence, he still allows it. He doesn't always come squash the enemy and get rid of them, just like he didn't do it with these guys. He could have any time. He could have just squashed these guys and avoided the cross and all that. So there's reasons for everything we don't understand. But understand the emotional makeup of our Lord. He loves you, and because of his love for you, he hates things that oppose you. Just like he loved this man, and he wanted to heal this man, and he did heal him. And he hated the things that were opposing him. You might not have known that about our Lord, but he really does have a tender heart that gets moved the right way. All right. I don't think I did a good job explaining that, but I hope you got it. Okay? I love my Lord because he loves me so much, and he loves you just as much. Come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.